Adam Collins here with Peter Handscomb for the final word. For all that cricket fueled by Kookaburra Cricket, a scintillating, all-consuming test match here at Chinnaswamy Stadium. We're at the team hotel on what would have been day 5, but Australia have lost by 75 runs. Kookaburra's own Peter Handscomb looked like he was on the cusp of just leading Australia to an unlikely victory in the 4th innings yesterday before it all fell apart after the tea break. Ravi Ashwin taking 5 wickets. Actually took 6 wickets, didn't he? Absolutely ran through Australia at the end. Peter, how do you feel after coming so close to retaining the Border Gavaskar trophy in straight sets and yet just slipped away at the last minute?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that we're in a position there to potentially retain the trophy, and it just didn't quite go our way. But we've got 2 more tests now to make sure that we win at least one of them. Hopefully we can win both and come home with a series win as well.
Peter got himself involved in a stink at the end of the test match. We'll come to that later. We'll go to the very start where Nathan Lyon took 8 for 50 on day 1, the best bowling figures from a spinner in this country, the best bowling figures from any foreigner in India in any test match ever. You're under the lid all day watching Nathan Lyon bowl at short leg or at silly point. Just talk us through just how beautifully and consistently he bowled through those 2 long spells.
Yeah, it's pretty glorious being under the lid to Gary there, because when you're at bat pad, you're obviously a little bit worried about drag downs or getting hit. So it's nice being there with him, because you know that the ball's always going to be in the right spot, and you're always a chance to try and get a catch in there. So it's great fun. But obviously watching him go about his business was something spectacular, and hopefully it's something he can replicate in a couple of tests to come.
KL Rahul top scored for India, but they were all out for 189, and Australia were already none for 40 overnight on day 2. So they were in fantastic nick. Day 2. We talked about gruelling cricket, 6 wickets, 180 odd runs. That's some of the most attritional cricket I've ever seen. What was it like being involved in that second day?
Yeah, pretty awesome, man. And I think that's what Test cricket in India is all about. It's going to be a grind, and it's really tough here in these conditions. So I think the way that we've played in the first 2 tests, the way that we've come out and really taken the game on and backed our plans has been awesome. And hopefully that's something we can keep doing.
Okay, 3rd day, Australia come back. They're still in. They're grinding along, but lose 4 quick wickets. This was the theme of the game. Just like when one team looks like they were going to take the ascendancy, the other fought back, and all of a sudden India were batting in the second session, and they found a way to survive to stumps, only losing 4 wickets. A big partnership between Pujara and Rahane got them back on track. It must have been very frustrating seeing those 2 prosper in that last session. You're probably 1 breakthrough away.
Yeah, exactly. If there was we had a little half chance there to potentially get Pujara out, and a couple of balls had gone our way, it could have been a different story. But credit to both Pujara and Rahane. They batted unbelievably well there in that last session to not allow us to grab a wicket there and finish with 4 down for the day. So that was another tough day of Test cricket, and it was good to be a part of.
Neglected to mention, in Australia's first innings, Matt Renshaw faced 196 balls and Shaun Marsh faced 197 balls, almost more important than their 60 and 66 respectively, just for the grind they showed. And that's what Pujara and Rahane did. So pushing into what became the final day, Australia's fast bowlers went absolutely nuts with the second new ball. Mitchell Starc first, then Josh Hazlewood. How was it watching Mitchell Starc break leg stump in half when Kuran Nair missed one first ball? Yeah,
it's pretty impressive. That it shows just how fast Starkey's bowling. And then they put me into third slip. Well, Smudger put me into third slip after that, and I was a bit worried that if there was going to be an edge, it was going to break my hand. So that was an incredible spell there by both the big bowlers to come out and swing the ball, but then also get something to happen off the wicket, which was bucking the trend for the quick bowlers.
154 clicks, Mitchell Starc. Kookaburra's own Mitchell Starc topped the pops at there in that ridiculous spell. They took 5 for 20 between them, the 2 quicks. It took a little while to finish off the tail, 10 overs to get the last wicket, but all told Australia were chasing 188. They were coming in after lunch, and at different periods through that innings, it felt like Australia may have had the ascendancy, but consistent wickets from the Indian spinner, Ravi Ashwin in particular, and Umesh Yadav hitting the pads a couple of times. It was one of those awful 4th innings chases where every run is valuable.
Yeah, that's something that we've spoken about, is that every run here in the subcontinent is so valuable. And unfortunately for us, we just kept losing consistent wickets there in the last innings. If we'd been able to hang around there for a little bit longer, take the game really deep into day 4, potentially the morning of day 5, we were a massive chance to chase that target down. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And credit to Ravi, he bowled really well.
So a bit of a DRS blow up at the end. So David Warner used the first referral for one that was given not out. He was given out on the field, and that was confirmed by the 3rd umpire. And then Shaun Marsh didn't refer one. There was some questions about whether Steve Smith said at this press conference he encouraged Shaun to use the referral, but Shaun took that as advice to get off the ground and go. What was the story there?
I haven't spoken to them about that, to be perfectly fair, but yeah, apparently he said, go as in go for it, and Sauce was taking that as, all right, I better get off the field then. But it's a spur of the moment thing. You get 15 seconds to make a decision, and unfortunately we didn't make the right one in that one. Steve
Smith was plumb in front, but he considered using the DRS, and this man here, Peter Handscomb, may have encouraged him to have a look at it as well. Can you just talk us through what happened there?
Yeah, obviously, when someone gets hit on the pads, you have a conversation as with your other batter to think if there's a chance it's not out. I may have made a little bit of a mishap there, and we've moved on from that, and it's all good, mate.
All good. It did cause a bit of a blow up after the game. Peter did sort of gesture to the change rooms maybe for a bit of help, but I think we're trying to get over that now. The Indian captain after play said it's a systemic thing, but the Australian team have denied that outright. So, I mean, I guess from your perspective at this stage, it's just about getting on with the third test, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Focuses are now on Ranchi and how we're going to go about winning the test there and regaining the trophy.
There was a very handy partnership between Mitchell Marsh and this man here, Peter Handscomb, leading up towards the tea break. They put on 27. They got it under 100 runs required for the victory, but they just were able to pry Australian open with 2 wickets before the tea break. Marsh getting a glove, and then Matthew Wade, your Victorian teammate, likewise. How did it feel being up the non-strikers there, knowing just how close you were to getting through to that last session within striking distance?
Yeah, obviously it's really tough watching the other end, and seeing two good balls get two good batsmen out. So it was a bit of a shame that we couldn't hang around there a little bit longer to take the chase as deep as we could. But still, credit to the way we played in these first two tests. It's been absolutely awesome to really take it to India over here, and it's definitely something we'll keep doing in the final two tests.
One of the great test matches in modern memory. Held our attention every single moment, no matter where you were watching it. All that cricket and Kookaburra Cricket. Thanks for Peter Handscomb joining us today for the final word. I'm Adam Collins, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks in Ranchi.
I'm Peter Handscomb, and I'm going to take you through the pull shot today. First of all, you want to transfer your weight onto the back foot, get your hands nice and high. And if we're trying to hit the ball along the ground, you go from high to low. And then if we're trying to clear the fence out at deep backward square, go high and go right through the shot and get the angle of the bat so the ball goes up. Generally, I'm looking for a ball above my waist to about shoulder height to pull. Anything higher than that, I feel that I get in a bit of trouble and I'm more likely to top edge it. So that's sort of my hitting zone. And when it does come down, I'm trying to hit it as hard as I can as well, because I don't want to just be clearing the fence by a metre, I want to be clearing it by 10.